award presentation brought to you by Women's Voices Now. And I proudly serve as the executive director of this organization that is using film to drive change that advances girls' and women's rights globally. And before we delve into our program, I'm going to invite you to get present in the room with each other and with me, where we're going to be for the next 30 or 35 minutes. So for this, I have a 2 to 3 minute group activity. It's a bit of a social experiment. So I hope you're intrigued, and I hope it goes well. Okay, here we go. I'm going to ask everyone to stand up. Okay? So all of those of you standing in the back are in a good situation. So if you're in a seat area, just make sure that you can do a 360 turn. Okay? There's going to be no cap on it. So I need you to listen first, and I'm going to cue you to begin. So, listening first. So very soon I'm going to ask you to lock eyes with a stranger in the room for 10 seconds, and I'm going to count down from 10 to 0. If smiling feels right, we've all learned how to do that with our eyes, so no worries if you have a mask on. Or with your mouth, whatever, both, you've got this. So first listening. So while gazing into your stranger's eyes, wish them some good wishes without speaking. Good health, a relaxing summer, a good night's sleep. And now you know all the things that I'm hoping to be wished. Okay, so find your stranger. There's no need to be speaking any words. I hear noise in the back.
Yeah, we're supposed to turn.
If we can all be quiet in the back. This experiment is not going to work if you're talking. Friends in the back. I can hear you, but the acoustics in here, there's a lot of noise. Okay, you've got your stranger, you're locking eyes. Ready? Wishing good things. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Great.
Cheers, thank you. They're already coming.
Now you're going to lock eyes with someone that you came here with. If you came solo, find someone that you spoke to this afternoon, even if it was just a few words exchanged. Anyone who might have connected with or intend to before the event is over. So same thing, 10 seconds filled with good wishes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lock eyes with yourself for a full 10 seconds, wishing yourself good things, meaningful things. Are you ready? Keep those eyes closed, looking at yourself, wishing good things. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thank you. Now please settle back into your chairs if you were seated. So, what does this have to do with today? Women's Voices Now. At Women's Voices Now, we move audiences from empathy to action by promoting, producing, and sharing films that authentically portray the lives and experiences of women and girls, human beings who are asking for the good wishes of being seen, heard, loved, healed, respected, celebrated, and supported. All of our work is about looking into and through the eyes of women and girls who are expressing their voices, calling for change in the world that still does not treat women equally simply because they are women. So this event today is all about connecting around these ideas and re-inspiring ourselves to keep moving forward toward a world that is better for all of us by improving the status of women and girls, which starts with how we see them and the notions and practices that come out of those perceptions. This event is also about recognizing the people and organizations who have carried, supported, and participated in all that Women's Voices Now is up to this very moment. So now for the thank yous. Today's event was made possible by a number of organizations and individuals that I would like to recognize before you. The genesis of this event came from a grant awarded to Women's Voices Now by the Department of Cultural Affairs from the City of Los Angeles, which looked forward to the time when the pandemic would subside enough for us all to come together again. So we are so grateful to the DCA LA for this optimistic thinking and the opportunity to gather all of you in person. Then there are the companies who donated product, discounted their services, and made things happen at a very busy time of year. There was a lot of competition for this date and this time. So we have Aval Artisanal Cider, CNI Brands, Free Spirits, the McBride Sisters Wine Company, Party Can, The Messy Table. We were supposed to have a mic stand, it didn't work out. And Rainbow Acres. Thank you for your kindness and partnership. Next, I want to say extra special thanks to Venice Arts, which is where we are today, for being our sponsoring venue. Women's Voices Now. Thank you, Lydia. So I am going to insist on mentioning this is not the first time that Venice Arts has welcomed Women's Voices Now into its uplifting and dynamic space. In 2016, when WVN was just getting back on its feet in the wake of losing our founder, Leslie Sachs, Venice Arts opened its doors to us, co-hosting a monthly screening series for us to discuss women's rights in films. At least one person in this room came to know of WVN through those screenings, and she and her family have played an important role in helping us get to where we are today. So I'm so honored and proud that advisory board member Clancy Cornell is here with us. Stand up. I would like to thank our team of volunteers who showed up hours before the event, taking time from their weekend. To help us make this an elegant afternoon, thank you to our advisory board member, Jessica Parrish. Where's Jessica? There she is. For helping us in the lead up and managing our team of volunteers. In this room are 3 very dedicated people, one could not make it today, who meet with me 4 times a year, and many times individually in between, to ensure the WVN stays on mission and is supported in the strongest ways possible. These are members of our board of directors, and I am so privileged to call them mentors and role models, confidants and friends. Gina Berman Sachs, for the 2 of us, we've been at this together for 10 years. And to our newer board members, Felipe Noguera and Candice Nakagawa. Felipe is here. And Diana Means, who couldn't be here today. I also must mention and thank our board members abroad, Karen Bielski and Tali Bielski, who hear from me all hours of the day and night due to different time zones, and are always very gracious about that. So rounding this out, I would like to thank and celebrate the small but mighty Team WVN, present and not present, Swazik Pelado, Yasmina Shawa, not sure what that's today, but today Yasmin, Ausma Palmer, who's our team member in New York, Lamin Ascofai, who is our team member in Mali, Ariana Thielenhaus, who is in Michigan right now, and Maricela Lopez, who you might have met in the screening room. Thank you for being here. We survived through a global pandemic together, and we can make anything happen that we set our minds to, I'm convinced. And WVN's strength and growing impact is proof of this statement, so thank you, team. And I would also like to thank our newer team members for the incredible hit-the-ground-running approach that got us to this moment. Sibel Persignon, Gabriella Grant, Emily Chapman, and Quinn White. And this is where I bring it back to all of you in the room. So finally, I want to thank each and every one of you for showing up here today. Many of you in this room are financial supporters of Women's Voices Now. We know you, we love you, we appreciate you. We thank you for your immense generosity. I want to acknowledge David Milburn from Pure Media, for our goal and Kate Seaton, who is another one of our very generous supporters who always shows up for WVN. Thank you, Kate, for being here. your support. I always say that words are inadequate to express the extent of our gratitude, so we hope that the work that we do and the impact we have shows our appreciation more than any platitudes or verbal expression of thanks. So we are also here to do something new, and that is to honor writer, director, and actor Sujata Day with the first Women Making Waves Award. Round of applause. And humbled by your incredible community that came out to support you, and I think this is so reflective of like the person that you are, that you bring your community with you, and they show up for you, you show up for them, and that is very much the spirit of the Women Making Waves Award. So yay to the people that Sujata brought to learn about her award and Women's Voices Now. Of women shift and challenge our stereotypical perceptions of women off the screen. The recipient of this award creates and/or portrays characters who authentically represent women as whole human beings experiencing the full range of life's complexities. Indeed, Sujata's work does all of this and more, and we will learn more about her work shortly during the moderated Q&A. So Sujata, please join me here to accept your award.
I've been working with and been supported by so many women in my career, like Issa Rae, Mindy Kaling, and DuVernay, and I'm just excited for the state of women in Hollywood. I think we are just going to keep pushing it forward, and we're going to inspire the next generation to tell their own authentic stories and to put them out there no matter what, even if you have to greenlight yourself like I did.
So in another moment, it's going to be my honor to invite WVN board member Candice Nakagawa and to re-invite Sujata Day up to the stage for discussion. So first I'm going to introduce, I can introduce you. So Candice Nakagawa has served as a WVN board member since 2020. She took a chance on us in the pandemic. She is director and senior private wealth advisor team lead for the Los Angeles North Region Union Bank of Private Bank. Candice received a Bachelor of Arts degree in economics with a minor in Japanese studies from the University of California, San Diego. She is also a graduate of the premier National Graduate School of Banking, Pacific Coast Banking School, and has her master's in business administration from the Marshall School of Business of the University of Southern California. I know there are Trojan fans in the room, so you can So Sujata Day, the first recipient of the Women Making Waves Award, presented by Women's Voices Now, with her infectious personality and unique sense of humor, Pittsburgh native Sujata Day has established herself as a multi-talented performer, creator, writer, and director. She is known for her starring role as Cece in Issa Rae's The Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl. She's recurred for 4 seasons on HBO's Insecure. She is a Sundance Lab Fellow, Sundance Film Festival influencer, and HBO Visionaries Ambassador. Her debut award-winning feature film, Definition Please, which I watched and I recommend that you all do the same, on Netflix, was acquired by Ava DuVernay's Array and is currently streaming on Netflix. So tonight, after you watch, we have other people in the film with us here, so you'll recognize them post facto. And now I'm going to ask Jacob to put the microphone in there and we will get started.
All right. Does it sound good?
Yes.
Good. Well, first of all, congratulations and thank you for being here. It really is a pleasure to have you join us with our first event since the pandemic had started at Women's Voices Now. It's wonderful to see everybody here, and I just want to congratulate you and really acknowledge the work that you're doing to inspire us all. You know, the sense of the authentic self and putting it out there really takes a lot of courage.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think it's hard to just get started because you think, oh, I live in the middle of Michigan or I live in the middle of Iowa and I want to be in the industry or I want to tell my stories, but I need to live in LA or New York. But I think especially the pandemic changed all of that, and you don't really have to live in LA or New York anymore to tell your stories. And what's exciting is that a lot of people were starting to watch, TikTok videos and IG Live videos and just different things where maybe it's a bit daunting to say, I'm gonna go out and make a feature film, which is too much. That's like that's a huge goal, and that can come later, but you should start with short films. I have a lot of friends and myself that started in short films or even sketches, and I think the most important thing is to make them and put them out, even if you don't feel like they're the best thing that you have. So it's important to put out something that's imperfect and let go of perfectionism, because I know even in my culture as Indian American, Asian American, we think everything has to be perfect. And that's something you just have to let go of as an artist and just be like, oh, maybe that's not perfect, but there's a character in there that's really cool, or there's a storyline in there that's really fun. And then you just make your next short a little bit better, and then you just go from there. You learn from your mistakes, and you just have to keep making stuff. But it starts with the first thing.
Thank you. Well, and you were just saying it doesn't have to be perfect. Life isn't perfect at all. So it's really important for all of us to understand that nothing's going to be perfect at all, right? So what would you say, why is it so important for us to tell those stories?
I think it's important because Hollywood has been telling the same kind of stories for so many years, and I get excited when I see people's stories that I don't know anything about, that I've never heard of this world, or I've never heard of this this culture or this lifestyle, and that's what excites me when I watch things. And so to come out with something totally different is really exciting, and that story is really important. No matter how you think, oh, this is just my life, or this is just my friends, and this is just like what we go through all the time, I want to see that on screen. And it's important to inspire others to tell their own stories as well.
Very true. I think there were, if you haven't seen Definition, please, I highly recommend it. There are aspects of the film where I even sat through and thought to myself, I can relate to that. There's a cultural aspect of the film where anybody in any culture can relate to being an American and trying to find your place in this world. And you do a really nice job of developing the characters, developing the storyline, and I think from the perspective of a young filmmaker, how do you suggest that they get into getting that on screen? How can they best do that in order to get their messaging out there? And what do you say to young women who've had that challenge in the traditional Hollywood sense?
Well, I definitely came up doing web series with Issa Rae. I was on Awkward Black Girl, and we just kind of went out there and we shot it and we did it, and regardless of what other people were saying about it. And so I would just say, just write it, put it out there, and don't worry about the reception of it or the non-reception. So a lot of people I know will make videos and be like, oh my gosh, it didn't go viral. And I'm like, okay, but something else came out. So you learned something. I did a series of videos, 3 videos called Larry and Lucy on YouTube that never went anywhere. They probably had like 1,000 views each, but I got a manager out of it. And so I think it's not always about going viral or getting the biggest audience. It's about what can you learn from the process, and how can you grow as a storyteller and a filmmaker the more you create.
Did you know that you've always wanted to be a filmmaker?
No, I had to do this because I was auditioning for stuff that I didn't really care about. And they were not lead roles, and they were supporting characters, which were still really fun, but I was like, oh, why can't I be the lead? Why can't my character have all these nuances, or why can't they be flawed as well as have positive things about them? And I felt it was something where I wanted to create the dream role that I wanted to play. So that was important for me in terms of writing my script, and also gifting my friends these really fun media roles that they also haven't had the opportunity to play before. And I thought that was really fun to do, to just see my very talented actor friends like Ritesh Rajan, who's in the audience right now, and Anna Kaja play these non-stereotypical characters that you don't see on screen every day.
Now, in the film, you talk about mental health, mental illness, and I think in a lot of Asian American families, that isn't something that we talk about very regularly, or very openly, for that matter. How did you feel about putting that in the film? What went through your mind, and how did you feel the audience would take that, especially the Asian American population?
It was really important for me to put the mental health storyline in, just because I have grown up with a lot of Indian Americans outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I noticed as I was growing up, these problems started to develop due to maybe pressure from their parents, pressure from taking 10 AP classes a semester, and getting into Ivy League. And I mean, I interviewed for a 6-year med program, and I messed up the interview on purpose. But I noticed these mental health issues developing amongst my friends, and kids would run away from home, and parents would say, well, why are they running away? What's happening? And nobody really talked about therapy or counseling or anything like that. And then when I went to college, it was similar thing, but now it was not just Indian Americans, it was Asian Americans, because I went to Case Western, a very tech-heavy school, and it would lead to tragedy, these things, so that there were kids committing suicide off of dorms, and I just noticed this among our community. Nobody was talking about it, and I felt like that it's just important to put something like that on screen, where it's not sensationalized, where it's a very authentically told story, and you don't generally see, someone with, this spoiler alert, someone with bipolar disorder, just kind of living their life, living their everyday life, and how it affects the rest of the family in different ways.
Now, did you have any sense of fear in about the authentic self and the storyline at all? Did you have any fear that you get some criticism or backlash based on some of those topics that weren't regularly talked about?
I mean, I'm not really scared of a lot of stuff. so I'm not scared of trolls, I'm not scared of haters, and I was just like, people are just gonna say what they want to say about it. And no one has really come after the film about that, because I really felt like we told it from a point of view with great care, with great personal history behind it, and then even the actors coming in. When Ritesh came in, and he comes from a family of many doctors, so he did a lot of his own research as well, and we took a lot of care to tell the story that we wanted to tell in a very real way. So I did not have any fear of pushback on that.
Well, that's really great. For anybody who is here looking to aspire to become a filmmaker, somebody that may not know where to start, where do you suggest? Where do they start with? If they're in a completely different industry, maybe after today's event, they say, what, this isn't what I'm doing to be my authentic self. I want to become a filmmaker and be a storyteller. What do you say to those women who are inspiring to do that?
I mean, I would say just look within yourself, look within your community, really start talking to other people who might want to tell stories with you, and get those groups together to start filming and shooting. Another thing that really inspired me was taking improv comedy classes. And I have a lot of writer friends who never want to be actors or performers, but they take improv just to finesse their storytelling and know how to communicate and deal with actors, because some of us can be difficult. And it's a really good way to, I think even now during the pandemic, they're having a lot of virtual improv classes. So shout out to UCB, because they really, they developed who I am and my voice in terms of taking sketch writing classes and improv classes over there, which also helped with the drama side, not just the comedy. So I would say, take classes, make friends with the people in your classes, make that community, and just start writing and start filming.
Now, as it leads to the future, what's next for Sujata? Tell us a little, if you can, if you're willing to share, tell us what you're looking to do, what we can look forward to seeing.
Well, I wrote a bunch of scripts over the pandemic, so putting my next feature together that I'm really excited about, and a couple TV projects that I've been pitching and stuff. So I'm just really excited to keep telling these authentic stories and to keep inspiring young women to tell their own stories as well.
Stories and storytelling of our authentic selves and in who we are. So thank you so much, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sujata and Candace, for such a thoughtful conversation. Let's give them one more round of applause. We're bringing our formal program to an end. Promised it would be short and sweet, but with a punch and impactful. So in just a few minutes, I'm going to invite you to go. There's a few things to invite you to. First of all, there's coffee outside. Of course, the food table is still open. There's another opportunity to view our impact film right in the screening room. So if you didn't check it out, please go in there. And after you go in there, if you were inspired to leave a note, go to our post-it wall and leave your message on our wall. Also would like to remind you to have fun at our photo booth. Don't miss the photo booth, which is straight to my left. And there's one more thing, which is taking an opportunity to learn about the crew. What's the crew? I'm so glad you asked. So the crew is a monthly giving program for donors who want to support Women's Voices Now and to join our community. You get free access to all of our events, like this one, online and in person, our film festival, our Girls' Voices Now screening event that's in the fall, and you will receive exclusive insight and communication about the impact that you are helping to create by being a crew member, and you're going to get that information every month. If you want to speak to a member of the crew, Advisory Board Member Stephen Geddes, who is here today. Stephen, where are you? There's Stephen. He happens to be our very first crew member, and I'm volunteering him to be your go-to person for recruitment. You can also find more information and a nifty QR code in your program so that you can sign up and get your membership going right away today. And lastly, this beautiful, thoughtful event would not have come together without the determination and dedication of one person and one person alone. So, WVN Development Director Swezi Pelado, way in the back, please come up here. Swezi started as a volunteer with Women's Voices Now in 2013, and she couldn't get enough. So she joined our team officially in 2018. So Swezi, I want you to accept this symbolic display. together to strengthen the work of Women's Voices Now and make the world a better place for all of us. Thank you.